Hello everyone, Derek Stam Toys, and we are back today with a little small random video. Maybe that might be the title, I don't know. You'll find out before I do, realistically. Well, not necessarily, but you'll see it before I'm speaking it. Today, we've got 4 figures. I'm sure you can kind of get the gist of what this is, but 3 of these are, I guess you could say, fix-ups or modifications. And then one of them is kind of more of a custom, though it is kind of slightly basic and simple. And I'll get into that here in a second. So, first things first, let's get into some of the more simpler things. Well, actually, if we're talking simple, the most simple thing here was the CM Punk, and that was swapping these knee pads onto this figure, and honestly, it makes it look and pose a hell of a lot better. I don't know why we keep getting big, bulky knee pads with CM Punk figures, but it's an easy fix for me if I have the knee pads. Now getting into the next simple fix-up, we've got this classic Pete Dunne. Did nothing really to it except for swap the head out so he can have the newer head scan. I'm sure you can kind of tell the difference in the skin tone though, which is a little iffy. But I also did put double jointed arms on there to make him pose around with some of the best figures I have in my collection today. And I did the same thing with this Gold Elite Pac. I gave him double jointed arms, and I actually did swap the kick pads. Last time you guys may have seen this figure, he was using the Finn Balor kick pads from the Royal Rumble Elite, if I recall. I can't exactly remember what Elite it is, but it's the kick pads that are off of this figure. Mind you, I do have an arm swap on here, so don't mind that. Just kind of a little random until I can maybe fix it up and make it a little bit more modern-ish with like some arm sleeves. But we'll see when that time comes. But now I'm actually using X-Pac kick pads like the original X-Pac Elite. It was kind of sad to see it happen there, but at the end of the day, if I could get my goddamn camera to focus here, excuse my French, I should say, we've got the all black kick pads now because I did acetone the green off from the X-Pac Elite. Can't remember exactly where I got the arms from. I think it's the Drew McIntyre custom I wanted to make a while back, but still have yet to do, knowing how the legs are going to be. And now, time for the main event, as Mark Henry would say. We've got this custom Elite, I guess you could say Kenta, almost kind of feels like a ROH Kenta, even though I know damn well it's not. We've got Hideo Itami, you could also say as well, but I'm going to be calling him Kenta just to keep it nice, sweet, and simple. Of course, we've got the NXT Basic Kenta or Hideo Itami head scan. I like this one over the other basic that he has out there. It does seem to fit a little bit high on the neck peg, but that's also because it's actually got some pretty decent articulation in there once you start moving it around and stuff of that nature. So I'm digging the head scan so far. I swapped a arm with a Jimmy so he could have the compression sleeve look. And then from there onwards, it is literally just the Legends AJ Styles. But like I mentioned in the AJ Styles review when I mentioned making it into a custom, I did acetone the logo over here off. Of course, it's not looking the cleanest, but I need to get some matte Mod Podge and just go over that and make it look nice. I did keep this side just because I did want it to have at least some sort of like logo on it. But yeah, this is a really sweet fix up, easy fix up, no paint. You may need a little bit of acetone, but honestly, at the end of the day, you don't really need a whole lot. And to be fair with you, just because I did see some of the reddish brown color coming off on the Q-tips I was using, I would recommend kind of like patting your way across the logo here on the leg, just to kind of have it as clean as you can. Like, I tried my best. I know there's still a little bit of gold there, but to be honest with you, it doesn't hurt my feelings. But yeah, with all that being said, I can't lie. I think I've kind of got what I want planned out and executed for the next number of months. I just kind of gotta go over it in my head and make sure it all makes sense. But I am fairly confident enough to say, after, all the tragedy with the main event for Ladder War and having to re-upload it, that I am ready to start pick fetting again. And I will say this right now, I'm actually kind of excited to get into this episode. Of course, the American Nightmare Open Challenge, I will say, is going to be opening that. And with all that being said, do keep in mind that unlike previous episodes, I do plan to have this kind of be under a newish format style, I guess you could say. I want to do more of a highlight style for the weekly shows. I do plan to have at least one match per week be in full. So at least like the main event of Chaos Theory will be a full match, but everything else will not be. It'll just be like maybe the finish of the match or a couple of cool spots depending on how many people are in the match and stuff of that nature. But with all that being said, I can't lie, I do not have a whole lot of time on my phone left, so we do gotta end this here. So, if you liked the video, feel free to like the video, and if you didn't, womp womp, I guess. But if you did like the video, and you would like to maybe check out some of my other content, we do random little videos, like this little update / fix up show off here, or custom / fix up show off here. We also do a good majority of reviews on the channel, along with me doing pick fed content, as I did just mention a couple minutes ago. And yeah, I try to upload as consistently as possible, that's all I will say. At least as consistent enough to where I'm not gonna end up homeless. Anywho, with all that being said, if you would like to, maybe feel free to also follow me on Instagram if you would like. If not, maybe feel free to help me out here on the channel. I'm sure you can see it as a recording. I was not trying to show off my notifications there because my notification bar decided to come down. But we are currently sitting at 333 subscribers, on the way to 350 subs. If you could, feel free to leave that sub so we can get there a hell of a lot sooner. We are, into the month of love, so feel free to spread as much love as you can towards the channel, let alone towards maybe people at home and stuff of that nature, people you care about. Anywho, enough said, as the great Stanley would say. So, on that note, deuces, ooses, yeet. Oh, Neville, you're still standing. Yeet.